Hey guys, I wanted to share with you this morning 3 habits that I've gotten into on a daily basis that I've learned from various sources that have been extremely helpful to me in my day-to-day life, in my writing, and in just overall feeling so much better. The first one is the simplest. That's just breathing through your nose instead of breathing through your mouth. I learned this one from Leah Astrup, and I will put information about her below. Uh, Breathing through your nose, I've got this pulled up here so I'll give you accurate information instead of just saying that I like doing it. Let's see. Breathing through your nose acts as an air cleaning system, trapping dust, pollen, and allergens. It warms cold air and moisturizes dry air before it reaches the delicate lungs, reducing irritation. It gives you higher oxygen absorption by creating higher resistance compared to the mouth. The nose forces the body to take in up to 20% more oxygen. The nasal passages produce nitric oxide, a molecule that improves circulation, increases oxygen transport, and has antibacterial properties. And it acts as a first line of defense. The nose filters pathogens, reducing the risk of respiratory infections, reduce stress, and better sleep. Nasal breathing encourages slower, deeper breathing that stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. That's all from Google. You can look that up yourself. I also do a daily meditation practice where I also breathe through my nose in various breathing exercises. I can't recommend it enough. If you have trouble breathing when you ride and you get those shallow breaths, just practice breathing through your nose throughout the day, and you will find that you have so much better learning and thinking capacity. You'll find yourself in a calmer state of mind, and you're just going to feel so much better. Okay, the second one is a resting squat, and I'll show you, but first I'm going to read again from Google why this is good for you. And I learned this from a mobility program that I took. I think it was called Moves Method. Again, I'm not here to endorse anybody in particular, just that's where I learned it. So I've been doing this for 6 or 7 months, and I have significantly less or no knee and hip pain. My back feels so much better, and I have just much better hip mobility, which helps me ride so much better as well. So the resting squat improves mobility by opening tight hips, strengthening the lower body and core, and decompressing the spine. It helps stiff joints, particularly in the hips, ankles, and low back, restoring a full range of motion. Holding a deep natural squat helps decompress the spine, and relieving pressure on discs and easing tension in the lower back. It acts as a deep stretch for tight hip flexors and adductors, which often become restricted in long hours in a chair. Improving your digestion naturally aligns the intestines and aids in bowel function. Unlike sitting in a chair, a resting squat maintains slight engagement in the glutes, core, and legs, and it helps you correct your posture. So it took me a full 6 months to be able to actually get in a deep squat. And the funny part about this is that this is how much of the world rests. And so, what I was learning to do as an exercise is an actual resting pose for much of the world. And when I watch my kids and they just squat right down to look at a rock or whatever, it's the natural way that the human body is supposed to work. It's supposed to be something that we are able to maintain while cooking, making things, talking to each other, whatever. And if you look at people across the world, that is how they rest. So if we spend long hours in a chair, over our time in life, we start to lose that natural mobility. So the deep squat helps you regain healthy range of motion in your joints. Now, like I said, it took me 6 months to be able to get in and to hold this pose. So you probably, maybe you're more flexible than me. You might not be able to start there. What I started doing before I could get into this and hold it, because when I first started, my heels could not get on the ground. So I took a little board and I would squat on this board. And that relieves the tension in your ankles. It's a lot easier. And I'm not kidding you when I say I could hold it for 10 seconds when I started. So even if you can only hold this for 10 seconds or you need a board or a bigger board, whatever you need to do to relieve the pressure on your joints and make it easier, start with 5 seconds, start with 10 seconds, do it a couple times a day. It gets easier and easier as your body accommodates and you start to be able to drop into your natural range of motion. This is how I drink my coffee in the morning. This is how I teach my video lessons sometimes. I try to just get into this pose as I can, and you'll see that your range of motion will improve drastically over time. You're going to feel so much better in your low back, and especially nice on your low back. The third one is hanging from a bar or a branch or whatever you've got to hang on. I had to get creative with this because I don't have anything to hang on in my house. And so I ended up hanging from my kid's bunk bed, which I'll show you in a second. But this really helps decompress the spine. So we'll read on Google. It provides spinal decompression as gravity pulls the body downward, creating traction that creates space between the vertebrae, easing pressure on discs and nerves. I had some nerve damage in my right arm that went all the way into my shoulder and neck, so this helped a ton. Shoulder health and mobility. It stretches the lats and pectorals, enhances mobility in the shoulder joint, and can aid in treating shoulder impingement. It increases grip and forearm strength as an isometric exercise. Hanging builds significant endurance and strength in the hands and forearms, and helps improve flexibility and posture. So I'll show you how I do it. So this is my kid's bunk bed. You can just take anywhere where you can hang safely and just hang, basically. You get a grip like this, and you just let yourself hang. If you can't take the weight fully into your hands, just rest your feet on the ground and just press down so you're stretching your shoulders out. And again, I started being able to do this for 5 seconds. I worked up to a minute over 6 months' time. So it took me a long time. That's totally fine. It's not really about just muscular strength. It's about full decompression of your spine. And if you spend a lot of time at a computer or looking at your phone or whatever you've got to do for work, and so just a couple habits to help get you out of those daily modes that make it really hard to open our body and breathe deeply as riders can really help. Now, it's really important to mention that you need to check with your doctor about any of these things. You can use adaptations for any and all of these positions. It is not important that you get into the perfect position. It's just about increasing your mobility and your range of motion. So definitely don't do anything that hurts yourself. Check with your doctor or any medical professional you have working with you to make sure that these are safe for you. Obviously, I'm not giving medical advice, and not all things are appropriate for all bodies. But these are 3 habits that I have started doing that have changed the way that I feel and really improved my mobility and my strength for riding. So I feel so much better in the saddle and just in my daily life.